My wife has been wanting a new centerpiece for our kitchen table, and instead of going out and buying one, I figured, why not make one? I started the build with a simple 1x6 board and cut it down to 30 inches long. This is going to become the base for the entire centerpiece. From there, I moved on to the sides. I used 1x3 boards and cut 45-degree miters on each corner. You could definitely make this easier and just use straight cuts, but I wanted those corners to come together nice and clean without any rough ends showing. Once I had everything cut, I added wood glue and then secured the sides to the base with a few brad nails. And one thing I've learned over the years, don't skip the glue. The brad nails are great for holding everything in place while the glue dries, but the glue is really what gives you the strength. Once all 4 sides were attached, I basically had an upside down wooden box. Now I could start adding some detail. For the top trim, I used 1x2 boards. I mitered the corners just like I did with the sides, and then glued and nailed those into place around the top. With all the woodworking finished, it was time for sanding. I started with 100 grit sandpaper to smooth everything out and then worked my way up to 220 grit. Once all the dust was cleaned off, it was time for my favorite part, adding some color. I went with a walnut colored stain, which really brought out the grain in the wood and gave the whole piece a much warmer, finished look. After letting the stain completely dry, I added a coat of polyurethane. That gives the wood a little extra protection, but it also gives it that nice finished look that I wanted for something that's going to sit right in the middle of our kitchen table. After the polyurethane dried, I drilled a small hole through the base, just large enough to feed my LED lights through. I ran the lights along the inside of the centerpiece, making 2 rows with the lights. I had some extra, so I did cut it off right at the strip and the mark where it shows on the strip. And then came the part that really brought the whole project together. I covered the lights with these clear decorative ice rocks. During the day, they had a little bit of texture, but when you turn the lights on, that's when things completely change. The light shines through all those clear rocks and gives the entire centerpiece this really cool, soft glow. And because the LEDs have a remote, we can change the color depending on the season, the holiday, or just whatever mood we're going for. And that's it. I really like how this one turned out. It looks great on our kitchen table, but you could easily make one for the coffee table. This weekend project starts at my local hardware store. I'm gonna grab a 10-foot long piece of ABS pipe that's 3 inches wide. But after I bought it, I noticed that it was too wide, so I took it out to the truck in the parking lot and cut it with my jigsaw. And now I'm back at my shop. And these right here are gonna get cut down to a couple of different pieces. I'm going to start with the base that's going to be 18 inches. I'm going to use my miter saw and slowly cut through the pipe. It does make the edges a little jagged, but a little bit of sandpaper will rough it up and get it nice and smooth. Once I do that, I'm going to put a little stop block on my miter saw. I'm going to cut some 1x3 boards about 8 inches long. Once I get those cut, I'm going to need 4 for each light post. I'm going to cut a little 45-degree notch on there to give it a little bit of a design. It looks great. Once I get that done, I'm going to put 4 of these legs around the pipe. Look at this nice design that I have, how each leg is going to make it nice and sturdy. Using my brad nailer, I'm going to put a nail onto each end, combining all the boards together, and then I'm going to pre-drill and use a screw on 2 of the sides to hold the base together. That's going to make it nice and sturdy. Then I'm going to turn it on its side on my workbench and take a 1x2 board, again pre-drilling up and down on this 18-inch base, putting my screws in. That's going to secure this board to the pipe. And then going up 9 inches, I'm going to put a couple of 6-inch pieces in. Once I get that done, on the very top piece, I'm going to cut out a nice wood round from a scrap piece of board and put that on. That's going to be my top cap. Once that's dry, I'm going to take it outside and give it a nice coat of black paint. I'm going to spray not just the wood, but also the pipe to give it a nice sheen. I'm going to let that dry for a few hours, and then I'm going to grab these battery-operated LED lights. Starting with the pack at the bottom where the batteries are, pulling the tape off, I'm going to start installing the LEDs up and down on the inside of the wood through the pipes. Now, Because this LED strip is long enough, I'm able to go up to the top and back down again to give it some extra light. Next, it's tray liner or some drawer liner. I'm going to cut this one in half because it's 20 inches wide. I only need 10 inches. I'm going to use a hot glue gun to put some hot glue down the sides of the pipe, and then I'm going to bring the tray liner up over and start securing it, doing it steadily, cutting it to fit. I'm going to keep doing this so I circle all of the tubes. It's a great piece instead of using plexiglass, which is a little too tough to make this tight circle. Once I get all of the hot glue done and I wrap it all the way around, watch this, it's time to bring them in and light them up. And look at this. Amazing, out of ABS pipe that you can buy at your local hardware store and some drawer liner. I love how they can change colors and you can use a remote. I hope this inspired you to make your own ABS light stand.
Next time you're at IKEA, grab this picture ledge. It's the secret to upgrading your curtains. Unwrap it, flip it over, and position it close to your ceiling curtain rail. Drill holes in the ceiling and use strong ceiling anchors to mount it directly. If you need more length, just add another ledge right next to it. If you have an open end, like I do, make a miter cut on the end piece and connect it with another small return piece. I glued the end piece together and installed it on the ceiling. My curtain fascia is done, and now it's time to add some light. I picked an LED strip with adhesive backing and cut it to fit the length of the fascia. I peeled the backing and stuck it onto the inner side. Then I simply ran the wire to the nearest power socket. Now turn the light on. This is an amazing idea to cover your curtain rails and add some ambient light to your home. It not only elevates your home interior, but also sets the mood and enhances the functionality of spaces by ensuring they are evenly lit and inviting.
So I headed down to the hardware store and picked up some 1x2s. When I got back to the condo, I measured my wall and cut the wood down to size. I stained the wood. It was really easy wearing gloves and using the cloth, and I loved the dark color. I let the pieces dry, and then I was ready to start. I made sure the first piece was plumb. I recently learned that vertical measurements are plumb, whereas horizontal ones are level. I made sure the first piece was plumb, and then I used a nail gun to attach it to the wall. Once I had the first piece in place, I used another piece as a spacer and then secured the next one. Using the 1x2 as a spacer made the job quick and easy. I secured all of my vertical boards in place. I ended up using 13 pieces for the wall, but you can obviously add as many or as few as you need for your space. Many slat walls end at the top of the wall, but I'd seen a few that extended onto the ceiling, and I liked the way they looked. I secured the pieces on the ceiling. I abutted them against each other, but these could certainly be miter cut for a more seamless finish if desired. I also cut the slat boards so as not to obstruct the outlet. I left some room to make sure that the wood wouldn't interfere with anything bulky that needed to be plugged in. The slat wall was looking good, but I wanted to make it more unique by adding light. I used LED strip lights with a remote control. These were really easy to use because they have an adhesive backing and could be stuck directly to the wood. I removed the backing and stuck them along the wall and also up onto the ceiling pieces. I chose to run the lights in alternate lines, but of course any pattern can be used depending on personal preference. Turning it on for the first time was exciting. The lights changed color with the remote, and my favorite was the cool blue light. I added a few more things to the room, including shelves in a matching color, curtains, and a bed. I love the uniqueness that the slats and lights gave to the room. I hope this inspired you to create a cool slat wall accent of your own. Thanks for watching Home Talk, and see you next time.